The roots of education are big. More things you will know. As if you were to die tomorrow. Learn. This continues until the day you die. But the lighting of a fire. If you do, education is the ability to listen. School or any place. The world.
Good evening, everybody. Could you please confirm if I'm audible? If yes, please put a yes in the chat. All right, thank you. Good evening once again. Thank you all for registering and attending this national level online faculty development program on outcome-based education and application of generative AI in teaching and research, organized by the exam cell of Government College of Women Autonomous, Guntur, Andhra Pradesh, in association with the Commissionerate of Collegiate Education, Government of Andhra Pradesh. Now, today we would like to welcome Dr. Suresh Nambudri, who is the Director of SPF Technologies, Pune, who will be the resource person to take the topic. And we would like to welcome all the FDP participants who are attending today. Now, about this FDP, this is a one-week FDP program with live timings from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. We are actually on our 6th day of the FDP, and tomorrow will be the last day of our FDP. Now, fee for the LMS access and processing of certificate is rupees 400. All the participants who have paid the processing fee will receive the LMS access, the video recording for all the days, and the provision to download your FDP completion certificate. The procedure for receiving the certificate will be informed to you towards the end of the FDP. If any of you are yet to make the payment, you can make the payment of rupees 400 to the account details I've put in the chat. If you are unable to attend any of the live sessions, the recording will be available in the LMS. Now, we have shared the LMS access details through email to those who have shared the payment proof in WhatsApp till yesterday. Those who have shared the payment proof in WhatsApp today will receive the LMS access details later in the day or by tomorrow. If you have any trouble in attending the WebEx online sessions, you can join the YouTube live streaming session. The link of which I've put in the chat already. Now, my name is Sujin Jacob George. I'm working as Global Relations Manager with IPSR Solutions Limited, and I will be the event moderator. Now, we would like to welcome Dr. G. Seshu, who is the Assistant Professor in English, Government College for Women Autonomous, Guntur, to do the introduction of the resource person. Over to you.
Thank you, sir. Let's begin today's evening session with a welcome note for Dr. Suresh Nambudri. Good evening, everyone. It's a great pleasure that I, on behalf of Government College for Women Autonomous, Guntur, welcome Dr. Suresh Nambudri, Director of SPF Technologies, Pune, to our faculty development program. Today, Dr. Nambudri will be sharing his expertise on two highly impactful topics, that is the underlying threats of outcome-based education and generative AI in teaching. Dr. Namboothri is a distinguished product design specialist with over 3 decades of industrial experience across diverse domains, including automobiles, consumer electronics, home appliances, computers, and telecommunications. His remarkable career includes serving as Chief Operating Officer at Tata Motors, where he was a part of the pioneering team that developed India's first indigenous car, the Indica. He has designed and developed more than 200 products, many of them being first of their kind in India, spanning washing machines, refrigerators, laptops, smartphones, and accessories. Having traveled to over 22 countries and collaborated with engineers from 8 different nations, Dr. Namboothri brings a global perspective to his work. He has interviewed over 12,000 candidates for senior positions in engineering and management, which inspired his extensive research into the state of Indian engineering education. His dedication to uncovering sustainable solutions led to his involvement with a global team of 158 industry professionals and 2 Ivy League universities in conducting a pan-India ethnographic survey. In his current role, Dr. Namboothri focuses on enhancing student employability by collaborating with top institutions such as IITs and NITs. He is also a sought-after resource person for faculty development, specializing in outcome-based education, design thinking, critical and creative thinking, and leveraging AI tools like ChatGPT in teaching. We are truly honored, sir, to have you with us today, and we look forward for an engaging and insightful session. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to Dr. Suresh Namboothri. Sir, over to you. Thank you.
Good evening, ma'am, and good evening to all. And thanks for the introduction, and thanks, Sijin. So let us start. I hope I am audible.
Yes, you are, sir. Please
Okay.
proceed.
So today and tomorrow, it is my honor to conduct this program. So first, I will tell you what are the things we are going to we are going to discuss these 2 days, and then let us go ahead with the program. As ma'am was introducing, today I will be mainly discussing the underlying threats of OBE. Why should we go for OBE? That is the first topic today. Second, we will be going to generative artificial intelligence. I will tell you certain things about generative artificial intelligence, and that will lead to our tomorrow's topic, that is how to use generative AI for high impact research without plagiarism. This is what we are going to speak these 2 days. I repeat, today we are going to speak about the underlying threats, or what is that real foundations of OBE. Why should we go for OBE? Is it a buzzword? Is it something like it is going to come and go? Or with what seriousness we have to approach OBE? This is what I am going to speak first. Second, I am going to give you an introduction of generative artificial intelligence, and I want to guarantee that whatever I am going to speak to you today and tomorrow, you will not get it from internet or any of the textbooks, because all these things are we have developed from our own experience, and these are the experience, first-hand experience things we are sharing with you. So now it is 7:07. Now let us start our program. I will tell you the rest of the thing, the way we progress with this. I am sharing my slides. I hope you can see my video.
Yes.
Okay. First of all, speak about differentiation. Every institution wants to be different because that is the economy, is the situation now. Because it is very important to attract students and it is very important to show that how we are contributing to the society, to the and to the country. Therefore, it is important we must differentiate. Why should we differentiate? I will tell you, I am speaking to you from Pune. You know, in Pune, about 10 years ago, we had only one university. That was Pune University. That was University. Now, in Pune city alone, for your information, in my last count, there are 21 cities. There are 21 universities here. And these 21 universities are cooperating each other. It is very important that every university wants to get a differentiation. Now the question is, how to do differentiation? Bringing a Bollywood star is going to make a differentiation. Or building or making some big building, whether it is going to differentiate. Now, first let us see that why should we differentiate? Differentiation is a necessity. As I was telling you, it is necessary to differentiate, then only a university can survive. It is the same thing applicable to an autonomous institution. It is same thing applicable to every other institution. It is a necessity. Second thing is becoming different is a responsibility. When you are an educational institution with a reputation and parents, society, students, country, everyone will expect you to be different. So it has become a responsibility. If you are a college with 10, 20 years of existence, it's a responsibility on you. You have to be different. Third thing is, anyone who is doing the differentiation properly, appropriately, it's a big opportunity. They can become a Stanford or a Harvard of today's time. They can, because very, very few institutions are actually trying to differentiate in meaningful ways. That is the reason you will see all autonomous colleges, most of the autonomous colleges are not autonomous colleges because they are not showing any differentiation at all, making professor dean, making some additional courses, conducting examination in time. Are these things going to make a differentiation? No, it is of no use to the student community. It is of no use for the country. Therefore, whoever is really making use of their autonomous status, or they are making use of their university status, or they are trying to differentiate, is a big opportunity. And the last thing is, anyone who dares to be different and they make those changes, they leave a legacy. They leave a legacy. You see, take a top universities. Well, these universities and colleges, they are leaving a legacy. It is not only for the colleges, the principals, the directors, the best professors, they all leave legacy. So these are all the things. We need to do differentiation. We must differentiate. Then let us see what is that real differentiation? What is that real differentiation? I see some colleges, they bring film actors, they build some beautiful buildings, and they have got a beautiful auditorium. And whether these are the differentiation? These are not the differentiation. These won't come under the definition of education itself. What is that differentiation? What is that pedagogical excellence? And what should be aiming for? This is what we are going to speak here in the beginning. And how can we bring that differentiation? And who can bring differentiation? How can we bring differentiation? Who can bring differentiation? That is what it outcome-based education. That is what coming to outcome-based education. You will ask, You will ask why I made outcome-based education like a 20th century fox. To 20th century fox. I will tell you it is only because of one reason. Outcome-based education, I believe, from my industry and academic experience and social experience, I would like to tell you, outcome-based education might be the last chance for our country to economically survive. I repeat, outcome-based education might be the last chance for our country to economically survive. I will show you the details now in the current pages. Before that, let us see what is outcome-based education and what is that OBE model. This is based on this left-hand side. You are seeing the beautiful person, the handsome person. He is William Spady. William G. Spady. He is the father of outcome-based education. I will tell you according to him what is OBE. I repeat, according to William G. Spady, what is outcome-based education? That is according to his paper. According to his paper, that is the organizing for results, the basis of authentic restructuring reform. Please understand verbatim. Organizing for results, the basis of authentic restructuring and reform. William G. Spady, 1988. You can get his paper on internet. Go to academia or you can search on internet. You will get, or somebody is interested, you can, I can send that paper to you. According to him, this is the what you see on the right hand side. This is what outcome-based education. The topmost thing is not program outcome. It is exit outcome. Exit outcome in the sense when a student passing out from your college, when he or she is crossing the college gate, what should be that person's capabilities? What should be that student's capability? What are the things that student will be able to do? This is what OBE. Here we diluted it for our convenience. So those institutions, they want to really do the differentiation. Please start from exit outcome. Exit outcome, then program outcome, course outcome, unit outcome, lesson outcome. I will tell you why these things are necessary for every institution. Let me go from here. This AICT and UGC, they understood this. This Ministry of Education understood this. That is the reason in 2023 December, they introduced something called a NHEQF descriptor level. I am not going to stress much about this one here, but please understand this exit outcome is going to become at any time this will come to our structure, so that exit outcome, that is NHEQF descriptor level, is the requirement. That is 5.5 for the bachelor's degree, 6 for bachelor's honors degree, 6 for postgraduate diploma, 6.5 for master's degree, and 7 for master's degree ME, MTech, 8 for PhD. These are all the descriptor level. This is what ultimately going to become the exit outcome. So now let us say like that. I bring your attention to one particular video here. Why we require exit outcome. See, now you have seen that one young man, he is speaking from Hyderabad airport. and proudly he came with a trolley and he was explaining with so much of pride, and after explaining he is going back. What is he doing? He is walking away from the reality. Do you know why? Why he is walking away from reality? Whatever you are seeing in that video frame, only one thing is Indian, that is young man. Only that young man is Indian. Rest of the thing, it is not conceived by Indian. It is not developed by Indian. It is only purchased by Indian. So ultimately our power is only the purchasing power. Now let us go ahead. Now this is one paper cutting I have taken while reading a few months ago. Just to see this one. There is iPhone, there is OnePlus, there is MacBook Air, there is Samsung, LG and Daikin AC, there is Samsung, there are earbuds, iPad, Hire. All these things are they Indian? They are not Indian. See, ultimately, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Are we? Where are we now? This is what the reality we need to understand. These are all. One side, when we are saying like that, we are superpower, technologically superpower. What are we actually doing? Now, people who have become the software developers, their hair has become gray or white. And means Infosys or the companies like Infosys, they are becoming 40, 45 years. Ask them whether you developed a technology, whether you developed an operating system, whether you developed one computer language, or whether you developed just a keyboard or a mouse. No, we have not done that. We only did carpenters and plumbers work in software. Whatever innovation Infosys claims, they have done it only in project management. Project management means what? How to squeeze, how to make efficient code writing, that's all. And now I am going to speak to you where exactly we stand. Then we will come to Bloom's taxonomy. And what is the penalty we pay? What is the penalty? We means our 140 crore people are paying for this. I am going to show you this. From this screen, what I wanted to tell you is that we are not developing anything what we require. Now, let us go from here to here. Now, I am going to show you this. This I have taken a screenshot from Reddit. Now, on Reddit, there is a subreddit called India Tech. On India Tech, this has come. It is asking a question. Apple iOS 17 versus Samsung One UI 6 versus Xiaomi HyperOS Control Center. Who did it better? All three are operating systems. And we with this computer superpower, whether we developed an operating system. China has developed, Korea has developed, US has developed, including North Korea has got their own operating system. We do not have, because we are into Macaulay. We are into daily wages. We will work during the day, evening we want to get money. That is what the software service. Upfront there is no investment. We don't want to do imagination. We don't want to do evaluation or creation. We want to only to go like this. And the tragedy maximum is these companies are actually dictating. Infosys, TCS, Accenture, they come to campuses and say that this is what we are looking for. This is what we are looking for from the students, including NITs are telling chemical, mechanical, metallurgical, civil engineers to learn coding in the 7th semester. Okay, that is the way, and they dictate for what? To become the carpenters and masons of software engineering, and for pushing for that service sector. This is what I am going to speak to you. I am going to link this thing to Bloom's taxonomy. I am going to this link to sufferings what we are facing as patriotic Indians. Now, let me take you to the next slide. This is a Wikipedia page. It is list of inventors. List of inventors. We say we are big innovators. Now go there. There are totally 1,300 entries are there. country-wise. Search for India. You know what? Totally there are 4 entries. Out of 1,300, there are 4 entries Indian. And do you know who are they? First is Shushruta. Shushruta invented surgery. And then next 2 or 3, then there is nobody invented anything after 1936 in India. Means after independence, we don't have any innovation at all, which can find a ranking there in list of inventors. What is this? What is this reasoning? We are going to speak about that. What are the things we need to do? Now I am going to show, I am showing you a crowd. You are seeing this crowd? Young men, they are standing crowd. They are all standing there in the whole night. Means one shop is going to open the next day and we are standing queue the day before in the night. This is what Apple store in Bombay. Apple store in Bombay. This is a crowd for buying Apple iPhone 16. You know, each one is carrying about 1.1 lakh rupees with him. It is not given a government ration. It is given by Apple. It is sold by Apple. And people are standing there in queue. This only one screenshot. This is worth some 3 to 4 crore rupees. Because that much Apple iPhones are sold that one particular opening day itself. Now, let us say like this, whether we are masters or slaves. Now see this one. Apple iPhone 6 Pro Max, what is the price? India, 1.45 lakhs. In USA itself, it is only 99,000. India, we are paying almost 1.5 lakh rupees. These people are all standing there to buy Apple iPhone. At the same time, I will show you some more detail. At the same time, I would like to tell you this important thing. You know, people may ask, what is the importance of what is the importance of this if it is not made in India or it is only assembled in India? What is the problem? I will tell you one example. 2 months ago, one material science laboratory in USA, they did one experiment. They purchased one Apple iPhone 16. They pulverized it. Pulverized means they made it into powder. Then this material science laboratory, they made a list of the materials. What are the raw materials in that iPhone 16? Do you know? They calculated how much gram aluminium, how many gram molybdenum, how much gram copper, how many gram glass. Do you know? After making this entire list, do you know what is the price of the raw material of one iPhone? One iPhone 16 total raw material cost is $1.1. That is, even at this price, it is only 94 rupees. 94 rupees worth item. These people are standing there to buy at 1,44,900 rupees. This is what actually engineering is. This is what actually engineering is. If you are buying a Toyota car, and if you are buying and weigh it and see how much is the value addition happening. This is the value addition is actually engineering or knowledge. This is what the power of knowledge. How we convert raw materials to a finished product other people crave for. Now, let me tell you this. We are craving for iPhone. We are craving for various gadgets from abroad. At the same time, please understand, nobody abroad is craving for an Indian product. Nobody abroad is craving for an Indian product. That is the reason. That is the reason we need to understand the next slide where we are going. Now you see this. When we know that making 94 rupees to 1.44 lakh rupees is the value of engineering, here in Tamil Nadu, over 200 engineering colleges fill just 10% seats. 37 get zero admission. 37 engineering colleges, nobody joined in the first year. This is a screenshot from India Today. And 200 engineering colleges got only 10%. You see one thing, I go around, I have visited about 270 engineering colleges in India. Now, if you ask anybody, what is engineering? Nobody knows. But if everyone knows one thing, engineering doesn't have demand. Engineering, how we made no demand here for engineering, and how we are craving for somebody's engineering product from some other country. When our engineering graduates are drinking and drug addicts, how we are paying bonuses for the engineers in China, Vietnam, or in USA. This is what we need to think about. This is what we need to think. Why such a thing happening? Now, it is not engineering alone. Because I said engineering, don't think it is engineering. You see this one? You take Bollywood movies. Every Bollywood movie is copied from abroad. We have become non-creative even for stories. India was a land of stories. Now that particular thing has gone. You take science, you take commerce or management, you take applied science, you take health science, you take social sciences, you take law and humanities. At nowhere we are in higher order thinking level. Everything we are getting from, even if there's a private insurance company here, they have got some other parent company. This is what actually we need to think about. Where are we standing? Everywhere we are in the lower order thinking. This is what, it is not engineering alone. It is for everything. This is what happening. Now, let me show you here, India's trade. What are the things we are doing? You know what? Our imports are of high skill, high value items like finished engineering goods, computer software, computer hardware. We are importing these things. Even if we say we are making in India, it is only assembling in India. Because I will tell you one classic example. People get confused by thinking that all these things are overnight made in India. When you have time, you go and visit one website called Adani Aerospace. Adani Aerospace. You will see big bombers and jets and big aeroplanes and all with the Indian national flag put it into that. I was so curious because I am a manufacturing engineer. I went and checked because each and everything I can evaluate how many billions are required, investment is required if someone has to make like this, and how many years or decades of expertise is required. I went and checked the Ministry of Corporate Affairs site. Ministry of Corporate Affairs site. You know what? Adani Aerospace is a company with a 5 lakh deposit. That is their asset. Everything was photoshopped. So here you see our imports are of high skill, high value items like finished engineering goods, computer software, computer hardware, etc. Our exports are of low skill, low value, heavily discounted items like low-end software services, raw materials, common machinery, etc. This situation is directly linked to our levels in Bloom's taxonomy. Are you understanding? We are exporting raw materials. We are not converting that raw materials to finished goods and giving. We are importing high skill, high value items because we are not able to do that high skill, high value item. What is the result of that? I will show you here. What is the result of that? I will show you. Now, what is the current reality in India in Bloom's taxonomy? See this particular grade. See this particular C. This is Bloom's taxonomy. This is what the reality. 94% of our graduates are confused graduates. They can recall facts and repeat information. They are in Bloom's remember level. 94%. You know, this particular group is liability for the country. Liability for the country in the sense, I know personally hundreds of examples. There are many parents call me and complaining. These are all the students. They pass graduation. They get graduated. They are all fighting at their homes. They are fighting with their parents. They want to go to Australia. They want to go to Germany. They want to go to USA. They want to go to Britain. Come what may. Sell the house. Sell the shop. Take loan. We want to go there. Do you know why? If the students are saying like that, I am deeply interested in metallurgical engineering, or I am deeply interested in topology to do mathematical research, or somebody is saying that I want to see the nitty-gritties of cognitive educational technology. Okay, then parents are agreeable. But this is not like that. Their only reason is that they want to extend the student life. They feel like that with this education, they have not achieved anything. Then plus the bonus is I can go there and settle. This is what ultimately, and parents are suffering across India. Crores of parents are suffering because of this 94% of students lying in Bloom's taxonomy's remember level. They are of no use. They didn't study anything, means they didn't learn anything. And in the end, after studying mechanical engineering, they become Ola driver and they go and drink and become drug addicts. And ultimately, do you know what they say? Mechanical engineering is not good. Mechanical engineering is not good. This is what the thing they say. But actually, thing is that they are in the lowest level of Bloom's taxonomy. This is a liability for India. This is not benefits of democracy. This youth. It is going to boomerang. Now the second thing is 3.7%. Bloom's comprehension level in our total India, we have got only 3.7%. This 3.7% can at least something comprehends. They can tell things in their own words. You know, Infosys, Cognizant, etc. This mass recruiters, they take from this 3.7%. This is what. Next is 1.5%. They are practical graduates. They are the people, they can learn something and apply the same principle and principle at some other place. And they are the apply level people, and they are the best people one can get in India, because analyze, evaluate and create. This is 0.8%. That means almost 1 out of 100 students are able to do analyze, evaluate, create. You are all faculty members. You can do your own evaluation and you can see where are they. But my only request is that please complete this and understand the definitions of analyze, evaluate and create. Then only you have to say in your classroom how many students are there in this way. Now, I am going to show you some very, very interesting thing. If this is what, ultimately, the students are going to come to a college for what? It is for becoming educated and will be say. But there is another definition called attaining graduate attributes. In our OBE attainment calculation, we are not speaking about graduate attribute exactly in that way. In an indirect way, we say that they might reach. But graduate attribute is the most important thing for a student part of exit outcome. This graduate attribute, if we are going, when we are going with that type of a percentage, we can say like that. Now, engineering college, AICT and UGC's graduate attribute, from here, we will say that only 1.5% of our students are actually gaining graduate attributes. Only 1.5%. So, this is what reflecting in education, reflecting in society. It is showing in the newspaper and it is coming on our economy. Do you know how it is coming on our economy? It is actually making you and me suffer in this country. Now, let me show you this. This is fall in the value of Indian rupee against US dollar 1947 to 2024. Now 2025, it is January. I will correct this graph. Now, when we got independence, it was 4.5 rupee was $1. Then up to 1980, it almost came to very little devaluation. I know that when I got some sense about this, it was 7.5 rupees was $1. Now let us see how this fell. It is really a downfall. And this downfall, we need to understand that one. Now it has become, nobody is even questioning this because it has actually become a practice for us. The suffering has become a practice for us. Let me tell you, take any of the major currency, none of the currencies fell like this. None of the currencies. That too, a country with so many brilliant people and so much of natural resources and so much of coastline and anything and everything you see. We have got a good geographic location. We are not in a situation with too hot or too cold. We are not experiencing any big famine. We are not experiencing starvation. Then why is it like this? And you have to understand an important point here. Why it fell like this? I will tell you the reason. The falling started when information technology revolution started. The falling started when IT revolution started. That is somewhere in the 87, 88 from there. Very much from here. Do you know that? There are two reasons for this. One reason is any advanced technology we see, India doesn't have a role in that. We can say that our people are going to USA and they are doing, but they are US citizens, they are US people. It is not coming under India. It is not making any value addition to Indian currency. If you see like that, any information technology, take your phone, take your laptop, take your all gadgets, take your charger, take your software services, take your Photoshop, take Google services, anything and everything. I will tell you one exception. I am very happy to make a point that there is a company called Soho. I am a fan of Soho. I am using Soho services. I am not getting any money to tell about that one, but we have to really appreciate. Somebody has started. They had the guts to stand in Tamil Nadu and to compete with the world. Okay. Otherwise, there are many people. They are all doing that. Makale's slave services make it in a different way. So this is what here. This is what falling. That is one point. You know, second point, that is a tragedy. That is a tragedy because nobody wants the services of Infosys, Accenture, TCS, etc. at a higher value of Indian rupee. Because if they have to survive, Indian rupee should fall. If these software service companies and low skills things should go find a market abroad, Indian rupee should fall. That means these companies cannot raise their Bloom's taxonomy. Because of that, we must suffer. That means if you see like this, TCS has got 5.7 lakh people. Similarly, Infosys has got some 3.5. If you see like that, totally to keep some 60 lakh people employed here, 140 crore Indians are suffering because their skills levels are low. We are not able to make a Photoshop, able to make a world reputed idea product, what I am saying. I will tell you an example. In 7 major engineering colleges, including NITs and IITs, and IITs, from the stage I offered, anyone in the next, I first asked, how many of you actually use Instagram? Everybody raised their hand. Yes, we are all using Instagram. I offer, I will pay you 1 lakh rupees in 24 hours if you come with an additional additional feature of Instagram. You come with an additional feature of Instagram, I will pay you 1 lakh rupees. So far, no one has come. But but Instagram is coming with new features, every version improvement. This is what ultimately our real problem is this. We are not getting ideas. We are not getting ideas. If somebody is telling us to do something, we are ready to do. We are not getting ideas. That is the reason Indian currency is falling down like this. We are not developing a product which foreigners crave for. We are not developing a service that foreigners stand in queue to buy. Like we have seen that iPhone Q16Q. If we have to sell any of our low skill item outside, we have to reduce our currency value. In my opinion, this is actually the real slavery. I really feel this is a bigger slavery than, this is an educational slavery. This is a skill slavery. This is what actually we are facing now. Now we do not know. After 2022, that is with the generative AI era, how things are going to change. I am going to show you that one. Before that, let me show you one small thing. I do not know how many of you remember this particular note. I remember it very well because I am from a place called Kottayam in Kerala state. I am coming from Kumaranallur. From Kumaranallur, it is 4 kilometers away from Kottayam town. I could catch a bus, pay 10 paisa ticket, go to a very good vegetarian restaurant in Kottayam and eat one masala dosha for 50 paisa. Take one coffee, 15 paisa more. 15 paisa. Then coming back, 10 paisa. After traveling to town and having a good masala dosha, coming back, still I had 20 paisa balance with me. From there, we came to some situation. I went to the same restaurant 2 months ago. There that masala dosha is costing something around 80 rupees. This is what actually happened to our currency. This is what actually happened to our standard of living. Now, let me tell you some of the side effects of this. You know, in India, now it is very difficult to find any product which is not adulterated. Every product has got adulteration. I really thought that at least branded products are not adulterated, but they are also adulterated. Even the best gingerly oil, that is till oil, adulterated. You take the best branded honey, adulterated. You are not getting milk because it is only adulterated. One reason is that they say, if I am giving pure milk, you cannot buy it. Our people do not have the capacity, purchasing capacity. If I am going to buy real till oil, you have to pay 1 liter about 1,100 rupees according to this. We have to, you cannot buy. So we are adulterating. That is also one reason we are getting maximum cancer. Before we were the diabetic capital of India, now we are the cancer capital of India. Everything is linked to Bloom's taxonomy. Everything is linked to Bloom's taxonomy. Let me tell you about that. You know, just one more example I will tell you. I will tell you one more example. You know this Good Day biscuit. Good Day biscuit, what was the diameter of the packet 3 years ago? What is the diameter of the packet now? And the price increase, the biscuit quantity reduced. Now coming back to our poor William J. Spady, father of OBE. Now, what was his OBE? OBE is exit outcome originated around student placement and advancement, defined by curriculum, content and structure. focused on instructional delivery, evaluated on student assessment and credentialing. This is what actually the paper, Williams-Paddy's paper says, but this is actually not applied here. If you are a university, if you are an autonomous institution, you are free to use this. You can use this as OBE. You can present papers based on this. You can write papers based on this and you can get it published in Q&A papers. And this is the way you can get the differentiation. Don't follow this Tom, Dick and Harry. Have your personality, have your differentiation, have your spine. This is what the educational institution need to do for the country. If this is what I feel, Bharat Mata deserves better. I repeat, Bharat Mata deserves better. Therefore, we need to really follow better things. Now, let me come back to this. My objective is not to tell the negative things. I went to Sevagram 2 years ago. Gandhiji's ashram near Varta. It is near Nagpur. There are Gandhi's quotation. One of the quotation Gandhi has very clearly written. Unless we understand our current state, we are not going to improve. So what I was telling you is the current state. So here the thing is that Indian education system assumes that every student is going to become a researcher. However, the prerequisite to become an active researcher is not built in the system. I repeat, Indian education system assumes that every student is going to become a researcher. However, the prerequisite, what are the things required to become a researcher is not built in at all. I hope you understand this. This is a big tragedy here. And at the same time, a thoughtful implementation of OBE can ensure students become active researchers and lifelong learners and become ready for quality employment. We need to understand employability is not training students for employability test. Becoming a good researcher is also an employability. If you see like that, most of the great researches are done by employees in some institutions. So employability and researchability are not separate, both are one. Research is an employability. Therefore, here we think that building employability skills are only training students for employability tests. No. Employability skills are the professional aspects of graduate attributes in OBE. The key question is how to attain the graduate attributes. Similarly, we have to understand startup and entrepreneurship training is not to train them how to start a company. You go and see all over India, there are incubation centers, there are startup program. What are they doing? They are all training students how to form a company, how to get funding. You know what? If a person has got the ability to start a company, he will just go to CA and he will find the funding, he will form the company. Main thing is, our students are not getting startup ideas. I am called to many institutions. Now I almost stopped going for evaluating startup. I felt so sad. Our students are not getting ideas. Why are they not getting startup idea is the question. Why should even IITs lie on this? They are also not getting any startup idea. What are the things we have done here? Everything is copied from abroad. Everything copied. There is nothing indigenous or something. Somebody is coming with an idea. Once I was flying from Amsterdam to Bombay. One person sitting next to me, and he was observing the type of the books I was reading in the long flight. And after some time, he inquired, "What am I doing?" I told that because of the call from my heart, I resigned my job as a chief operating officer with the Tata Group. now I am focusing on education. Then he was telling me that, why can't Indians focus on India's problem? If Indians find solutions to India's problem, for the next 100 years, Nobel Prize won't go outside India. Our problem is, it is not only that we are not inventing, we are not able even identify and define our problems. We are not even able to do that. Why are we not able to do that? This is what the question, we are going to speak and we are going to answer here. Now, we are going to come. Sustainable growth can be ensured only by attaining exit outcomes or the specified NHEQF descriptor levels. Exit outcomes or the specified NHEQF descriptor level, and that prerequisite is pedagogical excellence. Let me tell you what is pedagogical excellence. See, I want to tell you one uncomfortable truth. See, some 4 months ago, I was speaking to a vice chancellor of one of the universities in Kerala. He was telling me that whatever we do, students are not going to study. Whatever we do, students are not going to learn. At the point, I wanted to tell you that if we see that what is the condition of our students, that is the same condition everywhere in the world. In Korea, in UK. I will tell you, for example, I had this experience in Oxford Brookes University. When one of my friends, he was a professor there, and I'm not naming him, and he and myself, we were standing in the front of the mechanical engineering department, and at that time, one teenager just entered. He had a torn jeans, and he was wearing one wrinkled t-shirt, and he had a backpack and all. Then my friend has shown that, oh, he is this person. I didn't give much value to him by thinking that, okay, this is one of the students there. But when my friend has taken me to inside their lab, the same person, he was the person who designed and developed a sports car, and it is like a sellable car. It is not like a car which you see in many of the campuses here. It is actually with such a polish. This person designed, this person developed. Means we are only copying the torn jeans, we are only copying the beer mug, we are only copying the t-shirt. But what is the differentiation? When they play, they play. When they work, they work. When they work, they don't play. When they play, they don't work. This is the actually discipline. This is actually the professionalism built into this. When we build this type of things, actually many places, these type of students are actually shining. For that purpose, every teacher should be a marketeer for that particular subject. If the student is not getting attracted to that particular subject, then no education is going to work. It is something like an oiled surface if we pour water. It is like we are pouring water on an oil surface. It is not going to stick. That is the reason. The important thing is that every teacher should be a marketeer of his or her subject. Okay, I am going to go ahead from here. Recently, you have heard the talk of Dr. Thomas Verghese. You have heard the talk of Dr. Mendes Jacob. You have heard the talk of Dr. Sunil Job. We all and myself, we published a paper. On a Q1 journal that was about pedagogical excellence. I will show you a little thing about from that paper. This is what Bloom's cognitive domain. This is what Bloom's affective domain. This is what Bloom's cognitive domain. This is what all three domains together. If we have to get a pedagogical excellence at this particular time, we need to get expertise in all three, because this is what required for a this is what required post artificial intelligence age. Now let me go ahead and I will show you one very, very important thing. I want to show you one very, very important thing. See here one girl. She went to Canada. On Canada live TV, she told that it was her dream to leave India. Now, I understand that 2.5 lakh youth are leaving Kerala state alone every year. Now, let me come to this. Many universities, many autonomous colleges, they all say like that they are using some foreign university syllabus. They have got affiliation with some foreign university. They are sending students to some other university for 3 months, 4 months. But the question is, after doing all these things, why we are not getting the same result? If the same syllabus is used, if the syllabus was a problem, that syllabus is applied. If the textbook is the problem, that is given. If the infrastructure is there almost everywhere. I go to some of the NITs, IITs and some of the universities. I think they have got a better infrastructure than many of the foreign universities. Then why are we not able to produce such a result in India? Then I want to tell you that it is not physical infrastructure, it is mental infrastructure. Last few years ago, I went to Singapore. In one of the top universities there in Singapore, one of the Indian professors there, he came to me and he called me for dinner and we were discussing. He was telling that some college professors, I think one of the institutions, top institutions, sent from here to Singapore to see those universities, see that university. Then he was telling that when this person takes this group to one place, everybody say that infrastructure, infrastructure, infrastructure. Then go take to some other lab, infrastructure, infrastructure, infrastructure. This is what people say. If that infrastructure was here, we also could have produced such a. We do not know some of the thing. In 1965, IIT Kanpur had the best IBM supercomputer. From 1978, IIT Bombay had the computer science department. Everywhere. I worked in IIT Delhi in 1986 with a computerized numerical control machine. All these things we used only to create some useless paper publishing. We never went for higher order thinking like Bloom's taxonomy. We only use the remembering and comprehension level with all these high-end IBM computers. This is what actually happening here. This is what we have to understand. What we have to develop is mental infrastructure. Now let me show you this. This is what the revised Bloom's taxonomy. This revised Bloom's taxonomy, when I speak to you, I have to tell an important thing. This revised Bloom's taxonomy or the original Bloom's taxonomy, it is not that one person got a spirit and that particular day he started writing it. It is not. Let me tell you a history for this. Why American government appointed this Benjamin Bloom committee, and in 2 years they submitted this Bloom's taxonomy report? Because America started feeling the heat, industrialization, invention, because America thought that America's superiority in that industrialization and economy will go down. So Bloom's taxonomy has got direct link with the industrialization and economy. They wanted to see that what are all the problems. They wanted this committee to evaluate what is the superiority America is losing against Germany, against Japan, against UK, against France, against Russia. So this was the requirement of constituting the Bloom's taxonomy, the Bloom's committee, and they submitted that, and this industrialization thing, it came up to, in that way, Bloom's taxonomy survived up to 92-93. Then the criticism about that Bloom's taxonomy came up. Do you know what was the reason? When internet came, when automation came, that is what the 92-95, that particular time, when automation came, that earlier Bloom's taxonomy was not enough, because of the automation and because of that primitive, that type of artificial intelligence, many of the procedure type of work were taken away by the machines. So they wanted the Bloom's taxonomy things to be improved. That is the reason they had to add knowledge dimension to Bloom's taxonomy. Please understand, what the way in which we are taught here in Bloom's taxonomy, it is wrong. They say like that, in the revised Bloom's taxonomy, evaluation, that evaluate came to 5th level, synthesis become create, and knowledge become remember. It is not. This is not. The real, what they did is that they specifically said, knowledge cannot be made to just to one set of verbs, because knowledge has got levels, knowledge has got layers. That is what I am going to show you here. This is the secret of Bloom's taxonomy. Before that, let me tell you one more point. Our people do not even know what is knowledge. Here, this is a screen, this is a photograph I had taken from Pune edition of Times of India. Armed with knowledge, quizzers from 32,000 school shatter barriers. They think that answering quiz is knowledge. They think that spell bee is knowledge. They do not even understand what is knowledge. In such a places, what to do? Here you are seeing the photograph of the skill development minister. He says quiz is knowledge. Then what to do? Now let me go ahead from here. This is what actually the revised Bloom's taxonomy. That is remember, comprehend, apply, analyze, evaluate, create. This is what the vertical, it is same. But there is a knowledge dimension, means there are levels of knowledge. You teachers, you know that there are levels of knowledge. What are these levels of knowledge? This is what the gist, this is what the heart of revised Bloom's taxonomy. That is, knowledge is divided into 4. That is factual knowledge. This is the factual knowledge. In the sense, knowledge of terminology, knowledge of specific details and elements. This is what factual knowledge. Second is conceptual knowledge. That is knowledge of classifications and categories, knowledge of principles and generalization, knowledge of theories, models and structures. This is what the conceptual knowledge. Next is procedural knowledge. That is knowledge of subject specific skills and algorithms, knowledge of subject specific techniques and methods, knowledge of criteria for determining when to use appropriate procedure. Okay, when to use appropriate procedure. This is what the 3. Now, please, faculty members, please, participants, please pay attention here. I am going to tell you a very, very important thing. Very important thing. If you are taking only 1 point from this class, my request is that take this point. This factual knowledge, conceptual knowledge, procedural knowledge, this was the combination of previous knowledge. Next thing added separately to beat artificial intelligence, that is metacognitive knowledge. That is metacognitive knowledge. You know, we can beat artificial intelligence. We can beat automation. We can beat computers. We can beat everything and become good researchers and creators only through metacognitive knowledge. This got introduced in 2001's revised Bloom's taxonomy. Nobody will tell you this, but this is what the fact. Metacognitive knowledge. This is what where it is not in our syllabus. It is not in our radar, and we are getting beaten by this. Now, let me tell you an interesting thing. Now, from 2000 onwards, which are all the major companies, which are all the major products came? All those things are not mechanical engineering products, not petroleum products, not information technology products. All are psychology products. Facebook is not an IT product, it's a psychology product. Instagram is not an IT product, it's a psychology product. Google is a psychology product. These are all not an IT product, because psychology means you have to have a cognitive intuition. We must understand other person's emotion. We must understand what other person is suffering with. We must understand, we must know how to define other person's requirement. Then we must use our technology or the interdisciplinary technologies to create a solution for that person. In that way, we are becoming smarter. In that way, we become innovators. In that way, our currency will become powerful. In that way, patriotic Indians like us will get respect. If it is not, our people with the engineering BTech degree, they become shopkeepers and Adu Jeevitam there in Dubai or in those countries. One German was telling that, I have not seen any Chinese engineers working as drivers in Gulf, but Indian engineers are working there. So this is what the question we need to answer. Now I hope you understood what is real, what is the real this revised Bloom's taxonomy, and what is the knowledge dimension, that is factual, conceptual, procedural, metacognitive. And what is that metacognitive, and why this metacognitive knowledge dimension got added? What was the requirement? That is the only way. That is the Brahmastra. That is the Brahmastra for Brahmastra to beat artificial intelligence. That is the Brahmastra to become very good researchers. Now, I will speak to you more tomorrow, because I am going to speak to you about high impact research tomorrow. Or if there is a time, at least by 8:30 something, if possible, I will start with high impact research and artificial intelligence. But the time being, let me explain to you this revised Bloom's taxonomy and how it is important to you. And we need to understand that even now, when I go to many educational institutions, even faculty members are struggling with the 1956 version of Bloom's taxonomy. I repeat, when we go to various educational institutions, we see that faculty members are struggling with the 1956 version of Bloom's taxonomy. This is the 2001 version. Factual, conceptual, procedural, and metacognitive. And that is the reason at this age, I go to various educational institutions, and whichever way possible, I explain this Bloom's taxonomy through concepts and stories. Even I have got a program itself called Bloom's taxonomy through concepts and stories. Because by telling stories and by telling concepts, the faculty members will get the real foundation of Bloom's taxonomy. If they don't get that foundation of Bloom's taxonomy, then everything else is actually is not going to happen. Your question paper setting, or whether your what to say, assignments, or whether whatever you are going to do with the education is not going to happen. That is the reason I have a special module itself called Bloom's taxonomy through concepts and stories. So now I am going to show you here. I hope you can see the screen because you must look at the screen now. Now remember factual. Remember factual. Recite or list key terminology, names of processes, materials, people, numbers, and institution. This is what? Remember factual. Remember conceptual. Recognize what you already know and understand what might be helpful for the task. This is what remember conceptual. Now, remember procedural. It is recall your existing experiences, skills, and techniques. This is what remember procedural. Now, I want to tell you that about 70% of Indian university question papers are in remember factual. I have studied last 12 years of question papers of 20 universities of India. In that, 70% of questions are from remember factual. Now, remember conceptual, recognize, remember procedural, recall. Now I am going to comprehend factual, summarize the meaning, content, process, products, or context. Comprehend conceptual, classify your comprehension by answering complex question. Comprehend procedural. It is demonstrate knowledge, skill, control, and these things, etc. Now, let me tell you an example. One person I heard was speaking. My son is very smart. He can take my phone and he can do these things. And he said that very smart and he is a very knowledgeable. Is he knowledgeable? No. What he has got is that remember procedural. He remembers that procedure to take and use that phone. It is not the smartness of the boy. I really wish he to be smart, but at least for this instant, he is not smart. He is only showing his procedural. I'll show you one more example. You know what? There are some people, they solve mathematical problems like a flow, like a cascade. They just go like this. I have seen many people like that. But ask a meaningful question to him. He doesn't know anything about mathematics. It is actually what that person is showing is a procedural fluency. Somewhere in Andhra, I met one person. He has got 14 papers published in mathematics. I asked him, see, I am a visual person. You tell me the visual thing of these papers, whatever you said. As an engineer, I understood this. But tell me the visual. For example, I will tell you. See, you had 10 oranges and you gave me 4 oranges. How many oranges are balanced with you? Okay, the answer is 6. But did I tell you to subtract it? No. Did I tell you to use a mathematical operation called subtraction? No. Whether in the question there was a requirement for using subtraction? No. It is when somebody asked this question, you felt like subtracting. That means without even somebody telling you to subtract, you felt like subtracting. You got an intuition for subtracting. In the same way, I would like to know, when somebody get an intuition to use partial differential equation, when somebody will get an intuition to use integral calculus, when somebody will get an intuition to use fractals, then we can say that mathematical education was successful. If a doctor has to refer books before prescribing my medicine, if that doctor is not getting the medicine name and diagnosis by intuition, then what will you call that doctor? In the same way, whatever we are expecting from that doctor, why are we not expecting from an engineer? Why are we not expecting such a thing for an MA Malayalam person, MSc Geology person, MSc Chemistry person? This is what the question. Why we are not getting? This is what the thing we need to achieve. I am sitting here only to speak about that. This is what ultimately going to pedagogical excellence. This is what going to raise our levels through Bloom's taxonomy. Our educational purpose is raise the students through Bloom's taxonomy. But I do not know in how many faculty development programs somebody told you that your job is to raise students through Bloom's taxonomy. India is the only country Bloom's taxonomy used only for question paper setting. In every other country, Bloom's taxonomy is used as a level of attainment. Every other country, Bloom's taxonomy is a level of attainment. It is not a map for question paper setting. So I am going to speak to you how to raise students through the levels of Bloom's taxonomy. Now, let me come to here. Apply factual, employ. Apply conceptual, provide. Apply procedure. I am rushing because we do not have time. Let us hope some other time we will be able to explain. Otherwise, I can explain this particular graph about two hours, and I can tell the stories and the incidents before this. Now this is analyze factual, deconstruct, analyze conceptual, investigate, analyze procedural, discover, evaluate factual, critique, evaluate conceptual, modify, evaluate procedural, judge, create factual, produce, create conceptual, generate. Now I would like to tell you certain thing. Produce on work that demonstrate a knowledge and understanding of how systems and other professionals work. I wanted to tell you that this is what the maximum level we have come. For example, you take about Mahindra's new vehicle Thar, Mahindra Thar or Mahindra Rox, or you think about Tata Safari or Tata Harrier, or you think about IPSR or Mangalyaan. This everything will come under create factual, that is produce. Means we have not invented anything there. We have taken from there and we actually modified it for our requirement. So now create conceptual, that is generate. Our ChatGPT generate AI and all coming here. Now create procedural. This is a design. Now I want to tell you that create metacognitive is actually create. What is create? Create means you are the originator. Such a thing was not available. Take, there is a company called Adobe. There is a company called Adobe. There is a company called TCS. TCS has got 5,75,000 employees. Employee turnover per, the turnover per employee of TCS is 27 lakhs. That means each employee of TCS is contributing 27 lakh rupees to TCS. At the same time, a company called Adobe. Adobe has developed PDF, Photoshop, Adobe Premiere Pro, Flash. You see, range of products. Till they brought these products, nobody thought such a product was there. It is the same thing with Apple. Till they introduced something, nobody thought something was possible. Possible in this way. The same way, our Elon Musk, his company called Tesla. Tesla, every time they are coming with some 40 innovations. Okay, new version. These type of things. I saw a Tesla car. You cannot see the air conditioner vent itself. Everything is hidden. Means everything is clear. And these are all the things they are doing. Per employee, what is the turnover for Adobe? 40 crore. 40 crore. This is a price of innovation. Like we have seen how they are converting 94 rupees to 1.44 lakh. This is what the price of innovation. Okay, this is what the value of innovation. This is what the place in which we are missing. We have seen how our currency value is falling because we are craving for the external products. Nobody is craving for our product. It is actually across the field. There is no need to tell that we don't have funding for research. There is another research saying that only 6% of the researchers need big funding. The rest of the thing, some 3% of the researchers can actually use shared resources. Some 91% of the research doesn't need big funding at all. What we require is mental infrastructure. That is higher order thinking. That is in the top levels of Bloom's taxonomy. If that is not in our system, then why to complain? That is what actually I am sitting here. My first screen was telling you about differentiate. I am sitting here and speaking to you by saying that please do that differentiation. Now I am coming to here. Metacognitive. Metacognitive, how things are going. Identify, understand, use, separate, decide, create. These are the levels in which a researcher should travel. A researcher should travel through metacognitive level. That is what the topmost levels of Bloom's taxonomy. That if we travel through that, only we can do a high impact research. I am going to speak to you about that. Now, I am coming here. Because of the time, I am little. Now, how to raise the students through Bloom's taxonomy? I told you that my objective is not to rant. My objective is not to stand and complain. I am a patriotic Indian. I will tell you, out of my BTech mechanical class, I am one of the rare persons stayed back in India. I decided to work for Indian companies. That is the reason in the end I was working with the Tata Group. And I was in the product development in the automotive sector. So my objective is to find solution by standing here in this country. So I am going to tell you how to raise students through Bloom's taxonomy. Bloom's taxonomy. First, see, people ask me whether, I have traveled to 22 countries. I worked with the engineers from various countries. People ask me whether in Japan, whether in Germany, whether in America, whether all people are creative. No, all people are not creative. I will tell you how it is, but this is not the level there. Let me tell you one more example. You go to Wikipedia. They search for a page called gifted people. Gifted people in the sense, a girl who can dance without even studying dance. A boy who can sing without even studying singing. A person who can do mathematics without even going through mathematics class. These are gifted people. You know, in the world, every demography from Africa to New Zealand, India to Germany or US, everywhere 1.5% of our population are gifted people. One of the thing of educational system is identify gifted people and channel them through their gifted areas. Now in India, what is happening? We are even chasing away gifted people from their areas. I spoke to some professors in US, some industrialists in Japan, and some academicians and industrialists in Germany. Do you know what are the things commonly they said? They know about 1.5 to 2% of people are gifted people. They associate 5 to 6% people along with them. In this way, association, about 9 to 10% of their people are in the higher order thinking, not 0.8% like India. When it is coming to the Bloom's remember level, 40 to 45% of Americans, Japanese and Germans are Bloom's remember level. That is okay. Average graduates, about 20% of them are average graduates. That is okay. About 15 to 20% of people are in that Bloom's apply level. That is okay. But 94% of people living in the lowermost category of a country is the tragedy. So the important thing is to take students from this level to the top level. What is to be done? I am going to tell you here. Language for comprehension, or literacy for constructing their own insights, literacy for constructing their own concepts. If we are not providing them the language, they are not able to construct their insights. Important thing is language for comprehension. Here in India, what is happening? Every parent is telling the child, don't study English, don't study Malayalam, don't study Hindi, go and study science. In this way, they are curtailing, they are closing the windows of the brain. They do not have depth, they do not have concept. They can't understand the other person's sorrow because they don't have the words for emotions. They don't have, we do not have that capability for understanding other person's problem. Then how we will define a problem? How we will find a solution? This is what the basic. We need a language for comprehension or literacy for constructing insight. So then we will become Bloom's comprehension level. From there to go ahead to apply, we need a critical and creative thinking. You know, in 1956, there was a Kothari Commission. Then there were various commission up to new educational policy, NEP 2020 or NEP 2020. Everywhere there is a common factor, critical and creative thinking. Go ahead and see entire Indian universities. See one place to see critical and creative thinking syllabus, excepting one place, that is nursing. I have not seen critical and creative thinking part of a regular syllabus of any universities. The tragedy is research methodology. The basics, the bedrock of research is critical and creative thinking. You take a book, right from that Kothari's book to all this new book on research methodology. Take the syllabus of research methodology. Are you seeing critical and creative thinking? No. Then what is the meaning of blaming we are not getting good research? Now critical and creative thinking. Now afterwards, the next thing is, if we have to go to higher order thinking, that is analysis, evaluate and create. What we require is idea, exposure and worldview. Idea, exposure and worldview. There is a saying, there is nothing called outside the box, because we can only think about what are the things inside our box. There is a, Steve Jobs, co-founder of Apple Computer. There is a saying, he's one of the quotations. He is considered as the most creative person. Do you know what is the definition of creativity by the most creative person? He says, creativity is nothing but rearranging what you already know. I repeat, creativity is nothing but rearranging what you already know. That means a person who read more number of books, a person who watched more number of movies, a person who had more life experiences, a person who met good people and had good dialogue, a person who got into good facts and details, a person who got into much expressive people. That person will have many things in his brain to rearrange. That person will have idea exposure and worldview. Unless we have that idea exposure and worldview, any theory we study, we will not be able to find a practical application, because we don't have dots to connect in our brain. This is what actually, these are the three things. Now, I am taking you back to one of the previous slide. I asked you why foreign syllabus or university syllabuses are not working in India. Shall I tell you the answer? Shall I tell you the answer for that? I hope you remember that slide. Why foreign university syllabuses are not getting the same result in India? The reason is IELTS examination. IELTS examination. Do you know what is IELTS examination? People will tell it is an examination of English language. No. IELTS examination is an examination on Bloom's taxonomy. I repeat, IELTS examination is an examination on Bloom's taxonomy. And foreign universities, through IELTS, they are getting the best people with the Bloom's taxonomy cognitive level. I will tell you the reason. The IELTS examination has got 4 sections. That is listen, read, write, speak. Listen, read, write, speak. See, when in the listening, they are giving the input, but they are not giving that New Delhi is the capital of India, is making us to listen. And then there is a question, which city is the capital of India? No. They are telling something. The person should listen once and make inferences out of that and answer a question from a different twisted way. This is what the listen question. Now, listening examination. Writing examination is similar thing. They are giving certain paragraph. They are not asking verbatim question. They are asking from various things. In these two, the students require analysis and evaluation level. Analysis and evaluation level of Bloom's taxonomy is required for read and listen of IELTS examination. In the case of writing, in the case of speaking, it is in the create level. Create level in the sense, in the first they needed only that language for comprehension and critical and creative thinking. In the case of writing and speaking, they need idea exposure and worldview, because on the spot they have to create content. On the spot they have to speak. I will tell you, if GATE examination, NEET examination and all conducted in IELTS style, India will be one of the superpower. Whether are we ready to do that? That is the only question. So this, I hope you understood. I hope I am communicating and you understood what I am trying to communicate to you. So there are 3 things. 1, language for comprehension. 2nd, critical and creative thinking. 3rd, idea exposure and worldview. These are the 3 things required to raise students through Bloom's taxonomy. These are the 3 things. These are the 3 things which are required for a genuine OBE. This is what required if you are going for genuine NAC accreditation. Genuine NAC accreditation. You know, William Spady, father of outcome-based education, he specifically said, don't take a calculator, till you improve the quality. That means don't do attainment calculation till you raise your quality. Attainment calculation is not that whatever condition we are, do a calculation and show big. That is fabrication. That is not going to help anybody. If any institution, they want to do the differentiation, they have to go through the real OBE. They have to raise the quality through such a system. It is possible. It is possible because see, now the NAC in charge, that is Dr. Sahasrabudhe, once I was speaking to him. I was telling him that these are all happening. He was telling me that why have we given autonomy to them? Why did we give autonomy? His complaint is that autonomous colleges and universities are not using the autonomy. That is what I was telling you in the beginning. They are only using it for more number of courses and changing designations. These are all the power. These are all the power an autonomous college or a university has got. And this is the power every teacher has got. When a teacher understands this and when a teacher and try to implement this, that teacher is going to shine like a diamond there in the class. That teacher is going to be seen as a role model for generations to come. See, I am a senior citizen. We have our own school batch meeting. This batch meeting, even now, we remember certain teachers, certain class. When did it happen? You can see the color of my hair. Just to see when did it happen. It happened decades ago. But still we are thankful to those teachers. I am very sure that you follow these things. You make them to this thing. You will shine like a diamond. You will be the most remembered teachers for every class. You have to understand, there may be certain troublemakers, but there are many students there. They need only a touch at the right spot in their heart, and they are going to be your followers, and they are going to cherish you. They are going to keep you in their heart forever. So this is an important point. Our objective is how to raise students through Bloom's taxonomy. Bloom's taxonomy is not a template for question paper setting. It is to raise students through Bloom's taxonomy. So now I am going to show you here that one more thing before we stop here. You see a young man's photograph here. You will see only young photograph of his because he died young. At the age of 38, he passed away. At the age of 38, he passed away. But he is living. His educational theory is applied everywhere, right from Brazil, Chile, Alaska to North Korea to Japan to New Zealand. Everywhere his learning theory applied. His name is Lev Vygotsky. He created constructivism, social cognitive constructivism. His constructivism theory says like that. Students construct their own meaning. That means when you are teaching to a 60-member class, when you are teaching in a 60-member class, all 60 students are going to construct their own meaning based on their background, their prejudice about you, their thinking about the college. Based on this everything, they are going to construct their own meaning. So important thing is we have to help them to construct the knowledge. I do not have time because this is actually my 1 day's faculty development program. I am covering in about 1.5 to 2 hours. So this is what Lev Vygotsky. Now, this is what the 3 important things: language for comprehension, critical and creative thinking, See, when I go and take classes on, see, I normally take a faculty development program on artificial intelligence for pedagogical excellence, artificial intelligence for high impact research, and for the design thinking, and Bloom's taxonomy through to stories, etc. Everywhere, one question teachers ask that with the generative AI, will teachers' job go? Whether teachers job, I always tell that if you are a good teacher, it will never go. But if you are not a good teacher, it will go. So that is the importance of pedagogical excellence, because no one can replace a teacher. Even Lev Vygotsky's theory, I could not speak to you full about that. In that one thing, learning is always mediated. I repeat, learning is always mediated. I will tell you an example. You know this one, aerofuel, that is petrol used in aeroplane. You match a light, you have a light, matchbox lighted with a 6 meter away, it will get fire, because that is the way. But when we are using coconut oil, we need a wick, we need a cotton piece for that. We need a mediation. Every learning needs a mediation, but it is in various ways. Maybe an incident, maybe a book, maybe a good teacher, because we need a mediation for a learning. That is the irrefutable fact. So good teachers are always going to remain. Bad teachers are not going to remain. You know that this ABC and all coming so that any student can join whichever college. So that if you are a good teacher, you sit anywhere. Even in higher age, you can sit there. You can get students from all over the world. Now, let me finish this one here, this program. I am going to stop sharing. So I am.
Good evening, everyone. It has been a privilege that we could feel Dr. Suresh Namboothri's today an extensive and an exhaustive his expertise on today's topic, that is outcome-based education. First of all, on behalf of all the participants, I extend our sincere gratitude to Dr. Namboothri for sharing his vast expertise. Your thought-provoking, innovative, and exhaustive session had enriched our understanding of critical reforms that are needed in education to drive innovation, employability, and national progress. You have effectively highlighted how, despite having modern infrastructure and tools, we lack due to lack of mental infrastructure. Your comparison of clear boundaries between work and play in advanced countries versus our often blurred approach emphasize the need for disciplined focus to achieve excellence. Your discussion of Bloom's taxonomy, particularly its evolution from factual knowledge to deeper dimensions, factual, conceptual, procedural, and metacognitive, was especially enlightening. Examination of most of the Indian question papers focus primarily on factual recall, limited cognitive growth, and examples of children adept at using mobile phones or students solving math problems without conceptual understanding that operate only at a procedural level without an analysis have made us realize that raising thinking and intuition, as you stress, is vital for pedagogical transformation. We deeply appreciate your reminder that Bloom's taxonomy should guide not just in question paper design, but in curriculum delivery for holistic learning. Your insights into how intuition, analysis, and critical thinking must shape education are an urgent call to action. Additionally, your perspective on innovation through understanding psychology-based products like Google and Facebook has given us a fresh lens. Your threefold approach to boosting innovation without reliance on funding by focusing on differentiation, improving mental infrastructure, and nurturing higher order thinking was inspiring, sir. Creativity, as you noted, is arranging what we know in new ways. We also reflect on your critique of limited language comprehension in Indian education. True capacity building requires linguistic and conceptual depth across disciplines, which is foundational for analytical thinking and innovation. Dr. Namrutri, your session has provided us with a powerful framework for aligning educational outcomes with real world needs. Thank you for your time, sir. Dedication to the educational, which you're dedicating to the educational reform, and your visionary blueprint for a future where Bharat Mata rises through innovation, integrity, and disciplined thinking. On behalf of everyone here, I extend my heartfelt gratitude once again. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. And good evening, Shabba Khair.
Thank you.
Please note, everybody, tomorrow we will have the session on generative AI in research, and this will be taken by Dr. Suresh Nambudiri itself. And tomorrow will be our last day, and tomorrow we will have the valedictory function as well. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Have a pleasant evening.